So now we're going to see the concepts of relational database. Each data in the database should have some relationship to easily retrieve and store the data in the database. So what is RDBMS? That is Relational Database Management System. It is a database management system that is based on relational model. Each data in the database should have some relationship. So it can be framed by using of model called relational model. It was invented by E.F. Code with the 13 golden rules. He proposed the golden rules to define what is required for the database management system to consider the relation to maintain the database in the database management system. The basic idea of RDBMS is that it has some relationship and it should be maintained in the format of tables. The table is consist of rows and columns. To provide the relation operators to manipulate the data in the tabular column. So next is the relational schema. This is a basic structure of relational database. So as like Excel sheet, we maintain the database in the data in the database, right? So it consists of rows and columns. Each data, each table, it have some unique ID. We call it as primary key. So here we have a data called, we maintain the data as student database, and the first is the roll number, next is name, date of birth and age. So when here we consider the unique ID as roll number because it doesn't have any repetitions. So these are, we call it as fields or attributes. So the rows are, we call it as tuple, and the column we call it as attributes. So data in the data field we call it as entity set. For example, roll number is the one entity set. Next, name is in one entity set. As like that, we maintain the entity set. So the numeric or text in the cell we call it as value. So this is the schema structure of relational database. And these are the degrees. And these are the cardinality. So while we go for cardinality, we have some mapping. For example, one-to-one mapping, in the sense we call it as roll number is mapping with name. As like that, we maintaining the tuple record as cardinality. So next is an important of relational database. We call it as key. So we maintain several keys in the relational database. The first is very first we should maintain in the database, we call it as primary key. One of the primary key is a unique one. It doesn't have any null values inside the cells. So composite primary key is a primary key comprises of more than one attribute. So if one cell may have some more than one attribute, right? As like that, primary key should be a unique one. It doesn't have any repetition. So next is a candidate key. Other than primary key, we call it as candidate key. So when we go for this first slide, we mention roll number as unique, right? It's a primary key. And next fields, or we call it as candidate key. So we have here we explaining all those things. So first is a unique one. It's a primary key. So next we have two tables over here. The first table which have maintained some roll numbers, names and address and department ID, and the second we using by retrieving the department ID, and we maintain the department ID, name and address. So here we maintaining the relationship between the two tables, right? So here these are the basic keys in the relational database. So for unique data, we call it as what? Primary key. So in the first table we referred ID is the primary key, and the second table we refer department ID is a primary key. So we should maintain a relationship between these two tables. So next we're going to see the candidate key. So what is candidate key actually? Remaining fields of the primary key we call it as candidate key, right? So when we go for that, roll number, name, enroll number and department ID we call it as candidate key. So next is a foreign key. So if one table it has a primary key and another table we referred as an candidate key, we call it as foreign key. So the first table department ID is a candidate key. The second table we refer that candidate key as a primary key, right? Here we use the key called foreign key. So next, see we call it as alternate key. If in case primary key doesn't have any issues, we go for any alternate key. The alternate key should have some unique ID. So here we using the enrollment number as an alternate key. So alternate key is a alternate option of primary key, but it has some null values, whereas primary key doesn't have any null values. So the combination of primary key and the unique key and the alternate key, if a table consists of all these keys, we call it as super key. So as we have plenty of keys to maintain the normalized of database management systems, but basic keys are primary, candidate, foreign, alternate key, unique key and super key. So again I repeat, the unique identity field we call it as primary key. So other than primary key we refer as candidate key. So and here we maintain the two tables, right? So on the field, one table it acts as a candidate key. The same field on the other table it considers a primary key. Here we call it as that field as foreign key. And the next, if a table consists of primary key, alternate key, unique key, all these keys, the combination of all these keys we call it as super key. So these are some of the examples of keys. So next is a database language. So the database language we referred to design the data structure in the database. So here these are the types of database languages. So first is a data definition language. We call it as DDL. It is used to specify the data schema, the schema structure of database, right? So what is it, how to design it, how to create the database, how to alter in the sense rearranging the schema structures. For example, we design the schema structure for student in the case. The first is a student ID, that is the roll number. Next is a student name. The next is department and its mobile number as like that. If you want to rearrange, if you want to alter those schema structure as like this, the first is a roll number. Next we insert a field called register number. So if in this case the structure is rearranging, right? So for that purpose we using the command called alter. So next is a drop we use to delete the database structure. So next is the database data manipulation language, that is DML. It enables the user to access or manipulate the inside the structure of the database. Is like that, used to insert the field or used to delete the field, or if there are any updations inside these values of the fields, we can use the language called data manipulation language. So next is the data query language. It enables the user to query, that is used to retrieve some of the fields in the tables, or used to add one or more fields. If you want to add any information required for the database, we query it and insert it, right? So for that purpose we use the language called data query language. So next is a data control language. It is used to access the users to control the database administrator. It is a language is most probably used by the database administrator. We call it as DBA. The DBA uses this language to give the accessing rights of the database. Next is the transaction control language. It enables the users for transaction processing and to control the processing. If the transaction occurs, if any transaction, while transaction occurring, if in case any error occur during the transactioning process will roll back or commit. In the sense, if the transaction gets success, we go for commit command. If the transaction gets failures, we have to retransmit the data. We use the command called rollback. So these controls we call it as, these commands we call it as transaction control language. So this is the database languages which mainly used to design the schema structure of database.